When you build a feature factory, it's really hard for your customer to figure out what the value is. And customers who are looking at 100 different features in a complicated product don't want to overpay for features they don't use. So getting clear on what the value is super important. And you need to know what that value looks like across a segment, not just a couple companies if you want a successful product company. If you're in a services business, then yes, that customization might make sense. But I think even in a services business, it's really important to think about whether the company you're selling to is a good fit for you and for the value you deliver. I think it's an important conversation we'll talk more about that later. And that was the third one, by the way. 4, this is also one that I think is challenging sometimes when we're on the building side, that we need to recognize the effort to build may not be the value that the customer actually realizes. I think this can be tricky for some product leaders and some builders, but it's what we really should be trying to get out of discovery. And I think instead, product sometimes has discovery conversations that are about validating what we already want to build or how we want to tackle a problem. And I would really encourage all of us, when we're out there having these customer conversations, whether they're in a more specific focused discovery conversation or general customer insights and customer research, what is the value from the point of view of the customer? And maybe a more positive and optimistic way of looking at this is, let's say we have built a whole bunch of features, but our customers that are actually the most successful, meaning like they are renewing and they're low maintenance, they're happy, they're good revenue customers, let's say that they're using our product in a way that we didn't really intend. And that might be a good indicator that there is some value in the product. It's totally fine if we didn't intend it. Obviously, it's great if we can anticipate exactly how customers are going to use it, and that's wonderful. But maybe we still are delivering value. It just doesn't look the way that we expected it to. I think that the opportunity there is to dive in, learn more from customers about what that value is, so we can double down on something, even if it wasn't what we intended. And as I said a minute ago, I think a lot of companies also get a little stuck in some features or some capabilities are just harder and more complicated and time-consuming to build. But that effort doesn't matter to the customer. The customer really only cares about the value they receive, and value is something that only the customer can actually determine. We, as the builder or the person that created the product or the offer or the service, doesn't get to decide what value is. The buyer gets to decide that. The customer gets to decide that.